All right, come on, get a little closer. Forget everything you think you know about, data, research, none of that matters tonight. Tonight, we're staring right into the digital dark.
See, these aren't the kind of stories you're going to find in some dusty old book. No, these are whispered about. In those late-night forums, hard-coded into the parts of the web that most people never, ever see.
And don't for a second think these are just simple little tales. They're not. They're modern legends, born from this world we live in now, this always-on, always-connected world, where a stray signal, that could be carrying a scream. And a memory can infect you just like a virus. So, you ready?
Okay, so our first story. It doesn't start with a monster hiding in the shadows. It starts with a romance. Or at least that's what it looked like on the surface. This is the story of a guy named Ajay and a love that, it literally began to consume him.
Now, before he met this woman, Kajal, Ajay was that guy, the life of the party, a really good friend to have. But after she came into the picture, man, something just changed. His friends could only watch as he just withdrew, almost became a shadow of himself. He would ditch his own birthday party if she even hinted at it, just rushing back to her side like he was being pulled by some invisible string.
And his best friend, a guy named Rahul, he saw it all happening. He knew this wasn't just some super controlling girlfriend. It was more than that. It was the way Ajay's eyes would kind of glaze over, the way he'd just suddenly flip a switch and obey her every command. Rahul knew deep down that this was something way darker. He was convinced it was actual black magic.
But here's the really terrifying part. Ajay, he knew it too. In this one rare moment of clarity, he actually confessed to his friend. He told him he felt like a prisoner inside his own body. Can you imagine? He wanted to run away, to just break free, but he said he couldn't. Some unseen force was just holding him there, tied to Kajal completely against his will.
So this wasn't just any old spell. The legend has a name for it, Vashikaran. It's this ancient, really dangerous ritual, and its whole purpose is to completely shatter a person's will, turning them into a puppet, basically a slave to whoever cast the spell. Ajay wasn't just a boyfriend anymore, he was a possession.
Okay, so a person can be cursed. We've seen that. But what about an object? Something you might see every single day, something totally normal. Well, when you see this particular object, you know your days are numbered.
Just picture this. You open your front door, and there's a newspaper on your doorstep. But when you pick it up, the date is for tomorrow. And the main headline, in big, bold black ink, it's the story of your own death. They call it Khuni Khabar, or bloody news. And here's the kicker. It doesn't just predict the future, it guarantees it.
Let me tell you about this one guy, Kesar Lal. He was a businessman. He finds this newspaper on his doorstep, and it's predicting his suicide. Obviously, he completely panics. He jumps in his car, tries to drive away, do anything he can to escape what it says, but it's no use. It's like some unseen hand literally turns his car around and guides him right back home, just in time for that 10 a.m. headline to come true.
So, where does a curse like this even come from? Well, the story goes it started with 3 journalists, Anil, Deepak, and Kanika. Their greed was just off the charts. So much so that they stopped just reporting the news and started creating it. They would actually manufacture tragedies just so they could get a headline. Well, their little reign of terror ended when they got trapped and burned alive inside their own printing press. And now, their twisted, vengeful spirits are said to be bound to that very same machine they used for all their evil.
And so now, their ghosts just continue the work. Their ink is literally stained with fate itself. Because when it comes to this newspaper, one thing is for sure. The press always gets its story.
All right, so we've talked about a cursed person and a cursed object. But what happens when the curse isn't in a person or a thing, but in the land itself? Picture this, a happy family, a brand new home, built on soil that's just soaked in sorrow.
And it all started, as these things so often do, with the child, the family's little girl, Muskan. She started talking about a new friend she'd made, a really nice auntie who would play games with her in the backyard, even give her little gifts. An auntie, she said, who lives right there in the house with them.
Yeah, this was no imaginary friend. This auntie, she was the spirit of a woman named Nirmala, a woman who, years before, had been hanged from that big tree in the exact same yard where Muskan was now playing.
Just this tragic, lonely soul who desperately wanted to be close to a child again.
So what started out as these little gifts, pieces of old jewelry, it started to escalate. Fast. Other family members started seeing figures moving in the shadows. And then, the haunting turned violent. The swing set out in the yard, Muskan's favorite toy, it started moving all by itself, just faster and faster, until it became a weapon, and it brutally attacked the little girl's grandfather while he was sitting on it.
Our last story for tonight, this one might be the most chilling of all, because it's about a curse you can't escape from. Not by running, not by hiding, not even by dying.
So, this is a story about reincarnation. The idea that when you die, your soul gets reborn into a new body. You get a new life, a totally fresh start. But what if you could start over, but all your debts, all your sins? What if they followed you? Well, that's exactly what happened to a woman named Alicia.
You have to go back about 25 years before our story really starts. There were two friends, Ria and Sonia, who were completely inseparable. They were out climbing one day and they swore to each other they'd always be together. But then, disaster struck. They were both just clinging to this crumbling cliffside, and Ria let Sonia's hand slip. She let her fall to save herself. A promise broken at the very moment of death.
So Ria was reborn as Alicia, with absolutely no memory of her past life. But Sonia's ghost, it didn't forget. It waited, and when it finally found her, its message was simple and just absolutely terrifying. It was going to destroy Alicia's new life by taking away everyone she loved, one by one, to make her suffer the same exact loneliness that Sonia felt in her final moments.
And Alicia realized, to save her new family from this vengeful ghost, there was only one way to finally keep that promise she made so long ago. The only way to truly be together with Sonia forever was to join her in death. Just think about that. A final, desperate act to silence a ghost from a life she didn't even remember living. So, you've got vengeful spirits, cursed objects, haunted ground, all these digital ghosts, they're born from our deepest fears, aren't they? The fear of losing control, the fact that death is inevitable, and maybe worst of all, the promises we just couldn't keep.
And just like that, our stories are over. In a minute, the screen's gonna go dark and the room will be quiet again. But I want you to pay attention to that faint feeling you might have right now. That little prickle on the back of your neck?
Yeah, that feeling? That's just beginning.